Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about that snowstorm that's going to be ongoing throughout the day today for the northeastern United States as well as the Great Lakes regions of the United States. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, when do you think our next snowstorm for the eastern half of the country will be? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Now, we are going to be going live for the northeastern snowstorm here that's taking place, as you can see on our screen. I'm going to be going live for maybe an hour or so this morning, just covering what's ongoing, how temperatures are coming along, where that rain snow line could end up. Things of that nature. We're just going to be talking about this snowstorm. So if you are impacted by it in any way, be sure to go down to the pinned comment below because I'm going to leave a link to the stream, which is already scheduled now, and you can hit a reminder. That way you're notified when that stream begins. Other than that, we do have a bit of snowfall ongoing for the northwestern United States, and I will be taking a look at that as well. We have a lot of storminess here out ahead of that cold front. We'll be taking a look at that as well because that is kind of what I predicted to occur with this strong of a cold front moving through, which we finally do see it moving through here. You can literally see it, and that is going to bring very cold temperatures to basically all the areas east of that line eventually, at least through Christmas Day. So that's exciting to some people who have been hoping for that. Now, let's go ahead and zoom into the northwestern United States. We always start out west. I don't exactly know why, but it just seems easier to work your way from one side to the other. We kind of have our next snowstorm. This one's up here, the low pressure system, so it kind of goes underneath our bar there. But this is bringing tons of precipitation into Washington State. As you can see, very heavy rainfall indicated by the yellows and oranges there. This is turning to snowfall once it reaches the Cascades and the areas east of the Cascades. Again, I always talk about how the coasts mess me up because I'm from the East Coast, so anywhere that's mountainous or inland for me is usually considered to be west. So I get kind of mixed up for some reason. When I think of the West Coast, I think the same thing. West is inland. That's always my first assumption. But no, east is inland for them. And we have plenty of snowfall ongoing here. And we might take a look at it on the models to see how that's going to progress. Let's take a look at some of these thunderstorms ongoing down here for the southern United States. And I mean, we can see this cold front here. I accidentally paused the radar for some reason. Here we go. So we see the cold front there progressing quite quickly, actually. To this point, we can tell that there's a lot of Gulf air making its way northward because we can see the storms are moving to the north. And in the springtime, this would be a perfect setup for terrible severe weather. But the good thing is it's not the springtime. It's December 18th. Even though we've had a lot of severe weather that would make you think it's March, April, or May, it is not. So these temperatures are not, and really the moisture is not as sufficient for just major severe weather events as it would be in the springtime. Now, these ones actually look pretty bad down here south and east of Dallas. Now, these are moving kind of to the north of San Antonio, and we can see a lot of red. I mean, look at my radar scale. So we're looking at the higher end of things in those red shades. We see some of that popping up down there. We also see some of these in here in this corridor are kind of in that more medium range, which is really the high range. I've only seen the pink and blue a handful of times here. That is reserved for extreme situations, and typically there's very large hail when you get to the upper end of my scale that I've made there. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here at the northern end of this cold front here. So we're just going to take a little bit of a zoom out here. Okay, so our cold front is located here, and it is pushing generally this way. So that is obviously occurring. It is moving east. We see plenty of wintry precipitation basically to the north of this line, and that is going to generally try to push northward at times, and it depends on the spot, but this will generally try to push northward as there is just a lot of that Gulf and warmer air heading in from the south ahead of the cold front trying to push northward. We expect the heaviest snowfall to occur kind of to the north of this blue line that I'm drawing here. So anywhere in here is where we expect the heaviest snow to occur, especially the mountainous regions of New Hampshire, the hilly regions of Maine, and the mountainous regions of New York. We definitely expect the heaviest of that snowfall to occur. But again, I will be going live in about an hour or so. We will be taking a look at all of these things. All right, now here we are taking a look at our NAM 3K model. This is a very high resolution model. And as we get it to about right now, it looks pretty accurate to me. And as we move along, this is going to be about maybe the earlier afternoon, 1 or 2 p.m. And you can tell that that rain snow line has pushed further and further north. And something I am pretty concerned about is this freezing rain and sleet being indicated on the models in this range, especially the freezing rain, obviously, which is this pink. It does indicate very prolonged period of time with that freezing rain coming down. And it does seem pretty heavy. So I am curious to see if that will end up accumulating into a pretty serious freezing rain event. Now, this model keeps things very warm. The mix snow line is about there, north of Boston, north of the Catskills, north of the Massachusetts and Vermont and New Hampshire borders, basically. This model is very aggressive with that progression of the warm, and it keeps that snow very heavy in this region, though, and 10 inches plus seems to be possible for sure for that region. And this is by the time we're reaching about tonight, so the low pressure system is just going to be reaching about Cape Cod by that point, and it's going to move out like this, by the way. And again, we see that rain snow line is set up something like this. You could tell the cold air behind that cold front has really moved in, because now the rain snow line would look something like this if the low pressure system was coming in underneath this. We would see tons of snowfall for here if it was taking place just a little bit later underneath that cold front. But of course, it can't happen that way this time around. It's very rare to see things happen that perfect. We see the snowfall move out by tomorrow afternoon. Here, there's some snow showers left over. We could see that the cold air has progressed to about this point. We still see a lot of precipitation in the southeast there, but in general, that cold front is really moving out. And then by that evening, we see probably very cold air north of this line. So kind of wintry conditions return for a majority here of the eastern United States by the time we're reaching later that night on Sunday, even moving into Monday morning, and that's going to be December 20th. Like I said before, the cold air is going to last quite a while. Let's actually move on to our European model and run this one back, because I want to show you guys the difference here on some of these models. Yeah, so when we see this snowfall moving in, this is by about this evening, you can see this model is much less progressive with that warm air. And we see a lot more snowfall and wintry precipitation further south here. This is by about 8 p.m. on Sunday. And by the time we reach about 5 a.m. on Sunday, we see still plenty of that snowfall happening north of this line. Low pressure system is in the same location, so it's just less progressive with the warmth. And the snowfall would be a lot further south here. We still see that cold air shove its way in. Just for instance, let's take a look at those temperature anomalies real quick, and then we're going to get into total snowfall. 20 degrees above normal throughout this morning for these regions here. But by the time we reach after that cold front moves through, we will be taking a look at much closer to normal conditions, if not below normal, for all of these blue regions. So a huge flip in the temperatures coming up. And again, it lasts about through Christmas in general. Actually, I have to switch the model run here to the 0Z run. Let's just move along with this. Here is Christmas Eve here. And then Christmas Day, you can see this huge warm-up moving in. And then by the time we're reaching the day after Christmas, it has reached the East Coast. And that sticks around for the foreseeable future afterwards. So we're going to go from a huge warm-up to a big-time cool-down to another huge warm-up. And then January is a big old question mark. And we're going to have to see what happens with that. Okay, now let's take a look here at the total snowfall. Hold on. Let's find it here. Okay, here we go. Now let's take a look at that total snowfall. Anywhere in the grays, you're taking a look at about a dusting, if anything. Blues are going to be about 2 to 6 inches of snowfall, so we see plenty of that around. Purples are 6 to 10. Again, plenty of that for the mountain or the hilly regions here of New England and the Northeast here. And then we see those pinks, which is 10 inches plus, which we see quite a bit of that for New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and a bit of Maine, which is pretty much on par with what I'm thinking. Let's show you guys the NAM 3K model, though, real quick. And Again, it looks pretty similar, except once we move into the New England regions, we take a bit of a zoom in here. We get quite a bit of heavy snowfall in there, even bringing us above that kind of 12 to 18 inch region here for the Green Mountains and some of the White Mountains, as well as the Adirondacks. And there, with the high resolution model, you get to see those elevation differences. This is basically the line where if you're south of this, no accumulating snow occurs. If you're north of it, it does occur basically. And on the European model, that would be much further south. We could see that basically it's down here, I would say. So Boston, you're right on the brink on this model. It's probably about a 20-mile difference, perhaps, which this close to the storm happening is a significant difference. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, we will be going live, so stay tuned for that. Set your reminder. It's going to be in the pinned comment below, and we're going to take a look at some Nowcast type stuff. For today's confidence tab, we're at a 5 out of 6. Confidence is rather high because everything I talked about today is happening today. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what do you think is the maximum snowfall that will occur in the northeastern United States with this snow event? And James Marsh said, I think 10 inches looks to be the maximum for the interior portions of New England. I think some mountaintops could get more, but I think you're onto something around 10 inches, maybe a bit more is a good estimate for sure. For today's Patron Highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our Platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Larry LePan, Mandy Birchfield, and Patrick Strickland as well. I would also thank our Diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Cotalessa, Catbite, Charles Dennett, Cindy Klein, Alan Goodmaben, Bill Dallas, Gary, John Colisi, Dwight Phelan, Stephen Cronenthal, and Thomas D. Barr as well. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox also. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.